Compassion presents clothing. Love unpopular toys, their creature worn out less than frequently rather than always. Largest of us try to reduce the fault of our vogue inconstancy by falling down such hardly worn out clothing off at a Mercy store. Onto Oxfam, grant to its store enlarged by 2% in the history year 1. In lot ways he's a righteous loop. But just 10% to 20% of sacrificed clothing are in fact sold out via Mercy shops love Oxfams. The otherwise are sold out to distributors who later kind the clothing and email them on to countries love Pakistan or Malaysia wherever they are sold out in other hand clothing markets or processed to do means love fleece. Down there's fair one issue, such countries more no much longer wish our utilized clothing. Common, the world exportable marketplace for worn out and utilized clothes is alleged to be on $4bn Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Southward Sudan and Burundi newly announced they designed to halt importing utilized clothing of places love the UK and the US by 2019. Recent June, Rwanda's CEO Gender Kagame told, "We include to increase and set our industries." The ensuing consequences for clothing selling countries were rapid. The joint state, that is the planet's largest exporting country of worn-out clothes, told above the year it would overview its trading relation in Rwanda, so as Uganda and Tanzania, in the wake-up of the offered bans. If he's due to policy dispute or just a absence of consumer demand, the more competition world marketplace for worn-out clothes has put blood pressure on the UK companies how buy all of such unsold Mercy store clothing. But currently, he says, down there are no how lot of us leftward in the UK. Their plant, in East London, has large conveyor belts in workers dotted each few feet or so, thoroughly checking all of our undesirable throw-offs in 160 various probable grades of clothes. The grades band of hardly worn out to just nice for isolation. Every class is packed up in plasticity sacks weight 45 kg how are later sold out for whatever of 5 to 150 pounds to overseas buyers. Bras and soccer kit go for the largest, Mr. Bari says. The sort is rather a labor-intense trial. Down there's not a car how will speak you how's a class 1 robe, he tells me, as 10 workers kind viaduct the newest cargo capacity. He says how above the history 5-year same's seen 60-70 companies halt their sort industry. And LMB hasn't been immunity, he says he had to finish his personnel of almost 100 workers to several 20 present. Clothes is in world trading, they can buy of everywhere, says Mr. Bari, who says he's difficult to stay competition while labor expenses in the UK are rather top. Portion of which is suffering Mr. Bari's industry is the reality how largest of the clothes we buy present is more creature graded in the reduce rubbish class. Manufacturers aware how customers are more than concerned in low prices rather than strength, since they more wait to carry their clothing fair a few times and cast them off. So the quality assurance is not as nice, so while our customers get an paragraph they're not receive 2 or 3 100 wears out of it, they aware he's just departure to be a pair of uses, he says. How tool, on to Fee Gilfeather, Chief of Sale for Oxfam's Trade Department, more than clothes is receive incinerated rather than down there utilized to constitute. That is why both of Oxfam and LMB say the next of clothing recirculation might be close the clothes hinge, appearing out a way to completely recirculate these clothing in drapery we might utilize. Yet before technique can capture up in our voracious requirement for always more quick vogue, one communication Oxfam emphasizes is how consumer really halt donating just since it is constrained to burn up more than clothing. In reality, several of the power of such undesirable clothes fires could end up switching homes. So the following period thou seduced by a new tendency it might be wisdom to recall the speech of Coconut Chanel. Refinement, she is informed to include told, does not definitely comprise in setting on a new gown.